Welcome to Your World. I'm your host, Malaya, and I invite you to this space for women to reflect, learn from the lessons that life gives us while becoming the best version of ourselves. It's your world. Go out and get what belongs to you. I'm going to be very transparent with y'all because you're going to get the real Malaya on this podcast, okay? It is currently Saturday, February 7th, aka 2 days before the first episode drops. And I'm sitting here re-recording it because I'm a perfectionist. Like I I had some issues with the audio, like with the sound and the mic and stuff. I'm new to this, so I'm still learning. And then I was like, there's more stuff I gotta say. So girl, just re-record it. And this one is gonna be better. And yes, the episodes are just gonna get better as I progress. Before we get into the first episode, I want to introduce myself a little and talk about why I started this podcast in the first place. So I am 20 years old. I'm from Chicago, but I grew up in Wisconsin. I am currently a student at Georgia State University studying journalism, concentrated on public relations. And yeah, there's many layers to me, too many for an intro, but you will get to know me over time as we make mistakes, learn, and grow together. But as far as why I started the podcast, I grew up very fortunate, very blessed. I come from a single parent household. However, my mom is Miss Make It Happen, okay? Like I grew up, I'm the only child, so I was spoiled. Everything I wanted, I received. If it wasn't from my mom, it's from my grandma, my great grandma, my uncle. I have a very strong support system of people who do not play about me. But with that, I come from a family of tough love, so there wasn't much affection or talking about feelings. It was like, all right, get over it, do what you got to do. So I would suppress certain emotions or like wouldn't deal with them, which put me in a bad place mentally at one point. I'm not gonna lie, I was depressed, okay? Like I just felt lost and empty with all the good things in my life, of course. Like I was very grateful for the things that I had, but something in me just felt lost and like I just felt like I was existing on earth and not living, if that makes sense. Like I started asking God, why did you put me here? And it wasn't until I reached that really low point that I was like, okay, your life isn't going to change until you do something to change it. You need to break these habits, break these limited beliefs, get to know yourself to honestly live a full and better life. Like it starts with getting to know yourself. Once I started doing the work to learn, okay, who is Malaya? Who do I want to be in the future? What's holding me back from becoming that person? What boundaries do I need to create with people? Stuff like that. Once I started to really learn who I was, I saw changes in every area of my life. And I also learned to enjoy my own company, take myself on solo dates, cater to my mental health, check in with myself. All those things really helped me hold myself to like a certain standard. People are going to treat you how you treat yourself, okay? So you need to cater to yourself, love yourself, and treat yourself exactly how you expect other people to. And I want to create this space for other women to reach that point where you're comfortable and confident within your skin, within your boundaries. I got to a point where you can't tell me anything about my boundaries. My boundaries are non-negotiable, okay? Get comfortable in your no. You don't always have to give an explanation for why you said no for something. I know at one point of your life, your parent has told you because I said so. And your no can be because you said so. You don't owe people an explanation for everything. But yes, overall, I want you to start living your life for you because this is your world and you need to go out and get what belongs to you, queen. That quote comes from my great grandmother. Shout out to her. She instilled this quote in me. It's your world. Go out and get what belongs to you. She says this to me about everything, a decision, an outfit choice, me checking somebody, me reaching a goal, achieving a milestone, just like everything, she just always reminds me, it's your world. Go out and get what's yours, okay? And once I really like defined what that meant, I was like, you're right. This is my world and I need to live like it. Nothing or no one on this earth can hold me back from reaching my highest potential or my highest self but me. And by no means am I a professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm not some self-love guru trying to preach love yourself. Love yourself. Which, like, I definitely want you to love yourself. That is the goal. But, like, let's be real. It's deeper than just saying love yourself, because we got to get to know who this person is inside this body. Like, we spend a lot of time focusing on our time and energy on other people and external factors in our life without really dissecting ourselves and learning, who is this person that I'm trying to love on. You can be familiar with your image, but not your identity. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. And also, don't beat me up when I say this, but some of y'all have a misconception on what self-love is. Just because you treat yourself, buy yourself nice things, you let these men play with you, baby, or you aren't comfortable being 100% yourself around certain people. You don't check in with your mental health. That's not self-love. Or you might not do any of these things and you feel like your relationship with yourself is good. The best thing you can do for yourself is to constantly evolve and change, become a better person each day, because nobody's perfect. So you may feel like you may have all your ducks in a row and all your stuff together, but it's like you can still be making something better in your life. I just want your world to be a space for women or people in general, because I might have some male listeners, so I don't want to discriminate. But I just want this to be a space for us to be comfortable and confident in every decision we make, living for us, and also being appreciative of the mistakes we make as well, because life is not linear whatsoever. You have the ups and downs, your good and bad moments. And sometimes we don't make the best decisions, but as long as you learn whatever lesson you are meant to learn from that and grow from it, that is what matters. And personally, I feel like I give good advice. I've been told plenty of times I give good advice. So I just want to be your homegirl, vent to you about what's going on in my life, what I'm struggling with or dealing with at the time, and give advice and help you in any way that I can. Last thing before we get into the episode, I'm going to try not to bring religion too much into the podcast, but God is my right hand man, okay? And I'm going to shout him out whenever I can. I'm very faith driven. I believe that God has a plan and a purpose for each and every one of us that's unique, but it's up to you to get close to him and discover what that is or what that looks like. He has done so much for me throughout my life, and I cannot be more appreciative and grateful. I would not be sitting here talking to y'all without God, okay? But it's okay if you are not a religious person. Just know we're going to talk about God a little bit over here, okay? And if that's uncomfy for you, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Now, I know y'all like, girl, hurry up. But I just want y'all to know the background and the reason for the podcast. And this is me taking the steps to become that highest version of myself. This is something I try to honestly avoid doing. I thought it was just like a cute idea. But the more I tried to avoid it, God was like, no, girl, do that podcast, okay? So I hope something I say resonates with you and can help you better yourself as I continue to better myself. So today's topic is stop letting people tell you who you are. Stop letting people tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your life. Stop letting them make decisions for you or not making a decision because of something that someone said. When you let other people lead your life, you are giving up your power. You are allowing them to hold you like a puppet on strings and make you dance and move as they say as you just go through the motion. Not every encounter or situation or decision you might have to make, not everything needs to be ran by the next person, not your mom, not your best friend. It's okay to get advice from people, but always take it with a grain of salt, because like I said and we'll keep saying, it's your world. It's your world. Like, trust yourself. You need to ask yourself what you should do in this situation first. You need to ask yourself, is this something that's serving my life right now, or do I need to step away from this situation? Whatever it is, you need to learn to lean on you first before anybody else. Because the people that are meant to be in your life, I'm going to say it one more time. The people that are meant to be in your life, not the people you just dragging along or you should have cut off a long time ago but still haven't. No. The people that are meant to be in your life will respect you for having a voice, having an opinion, being confident within yourself and who you are. As someone who is a great leader, I also know how to sit back and let someone else take the wheel. I don't always have to be the one making decisions when it comes to like group things, whatever. I hate when I ask someone their opinion on something or like what they think we should do, and they're like, well, what do you think? What do you want to do? What do you want? I'm like, no, I'm asking you, what do you think? How do you feel? And they're like, oh, it don't matter to me, whatever you want to do. No. Like, use your voice, have an opinion. I hate people. No, not this. I dislike when people are like just passive and don't really have opinions on anything. You shouldn't always leave it up to someone else to make a decision that your input is important on, if that makes sense. Similar to that, by the grace of God, you have a voice that is meant to be heard, so no one should be speaking on your behalf. This reminds me of one time I was out to eat with my friend and her mom. And her mom was just asking us about like our plans for the future, what we wanted to do with our life. And every time she would ask me a question, my friend would answer as if she was talking to her. And nothing bad on her part. I guess she just felt like she knew me so well or something. But everything she said was wrong as far as what I was going to school for, if I wanted kids in the future, if I wanted to get married. Everything was wrong. And at first, I was just letting her talk. I was just like, okay, that's not true, but whatever. But then I was like, no, because I need to speak up and let you know that that's not what this is. That's not who I am or what I want to do in my life. Granted, she wasn't completely wrong because, yes, at one point in my life, I did say, no, I'm not having kids. No, I'm not getting married. I'm going to school to be a writer. But I obviously changed that mindset. So I need to give her and her mom the opportunity to know that about me. But like I said, she had no ill intentions. She just felt like she knew me so well, which is going to get us into our next point. People sometimes feel like they know you better than you know yourself, so they feel like they know what's best for you, but they haven't lived life through your lens. I don't even know how many times I've heard that in my life. I know you more than you know yourself. No, you don't. No, you don't. And at one point you may have, but not anymore, okay? Even those who you feel know everything about you, they haven't lived life through your lens. They haven't lived in your body. They haven't experienced things how you experienced them. They haven't felt your emotions how you felt them about certain situations. So it's like, yes, you could give me advice on a situation, but at the end of the day, this is my life and it's affecting me. So you can't really give me insight on my life, because the only person that has to deal with the outcome of a situation, the consequences, the regret is me. So it's like, you may know a lot about me, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's best for me. You might, but it's up to me to decide, okay? Moving on to our next point. Sometimes people can know the old version of you, but not the new one. Just because you are changing, everybody else is not changing at that same pace, or some people aren't even changing at all. I know some people that are the exact same person that they were in middle school and high school, and that is scary because it's like over time you don't naturally change. Age doesn't bring wisdom. Like, I genuinely don't have the energy or mental capacity to be messy, sitting around talking about people chasing a man. Like, hello? That stuff gets old very fast. And if it hasn't for you, I pray it does, but no shade, that means your goals ain't big enough. But I digress. I will save that for another episode. This is something I could talk about for hours because it's just so crazy to me how we as humans, we started off as animals. Like, we were born literally evolving. Like, we had to adapt to our environment and evolve as times change. So it's like we are born to change, born to evolve, and some people just don't, which can affect you if you let it. If you are an ambitious person, you see a certain life for yourself, you have big goals, but you're surrounded by negative people, people with limited beliefs who don't believe you could reach a certain point or don't think certain things are realistic. That's gonna, one, make you feel isolated, and it's gonna slow down your progress. I'm to the point now in my life where it's like I want to talk about investments. I want to talk about taking trips, getting closer to God, bettering myself. But if I'm hanging out with people who are lazy, don't see much for themselves outside of their hometown, always chasing a man, that's not going to help me get to where I want to be. In my opinion, I feel like in any relationship, some sort of give and take of knowledge needs to be done. Like, you're meant to learn from the people around you. And if you're around people that aren't on the same alignment as you, they can hold you back. And like I said, you can start to feel isolated when it's like no one relates to me. No one wants to talk about the things I want to talk about. No one cares about the things I care about. You start to feel like, is there something wrong with me? I know because I've personally experienced it even as I started my self-improvement journey. And I would tell people, oh, I've been reading self-help books, I've been listening to podcasts. They would just be like, girl, what? Like, okay, like, what are you doing that for? And it would piss me off. But it's like, you can't be upset because they're not where you are. Like, they're not in the same season or space of healing that you are. So they don't understand. They don't get you right now. The person that I used to be, well, I'm not even the same person I was a few months ago, okay? Since I started working on myself actively, I am changing every day, literally. There's some people out there, and if you're watching, hey girl, that have this perception of me or claim that they don't like me and I haven't seen them in a couple years. Or they still judge me for choices that I made back in high school. And it's like, girl, I don't know about you, but I am not that same person. I'm not that girl you was beefing with, okay? I am getting a little bit off topic, but real quick, I just want to say you cannot change people's perspective of you. No matter how you want to be perceived by people, they're going to create their own version of you in their head. So that's even more of a reason to not conform to their judgment or how they feel. Because again, no matter how you want people to see you, they going to think what they want to think about you at the end of the day. Moving on. Sometimes people cannot fathom the fact that you aren't the person that they used to know, but they're going to have to respect it. And if they don't respect you, don't give them access to you. One more time. If they don't respect you, don't give them access to you. And I have a real good example of this because I had to cut one of my close homeboys off for this. There was this dude I was really good friends with. We were both kind of going through something mentally at the time, but back then I kind of kept all my stuff to myself. But he was very vocal. I was a good friend for him, always there to talk, whatever. But when I told him, like, I want to grow out of certain beliefs or mindsets, I want to become a better person, he basically was like, no, you always going to be this person. Like, what do you mean you want to change? You're forever going to be XYZ, like, to sum up. And I was just like, damn. It just, I don't know. It did not feel good to hear, oh, you want to change? No, you are forever going to be this person. You're not going to change. And so I would go back and forth with myself on if I wanted to keep him as a friend because he wasn't making me feel good. But then I would feel bad because I was like, okay, I know he's also going through things mentally and I'm always there for him. But it's like, when I need you to be there for me, I didn't feel that reciprocated. So at the end of the day, I had to do what was best for me and leave that relationship. I'm changing and I'm not the same person that you know, and you just can't get with that. For whatever reason, you want to hold on to the old version of me. I can't respect that because you're not respecting me by doing that. It just felt like he was trying to keep me down with him because y'all know misery loves company. People love to project their insecurities to try to keep other people down. There's a difference in feeling like, okay, I'm going through this situation. One of my friends is too, like, at least it's not just happening to me, because I sometimes think like that. I'm like, okay, at least I'm not the only one down bad right now. But like, that's low key not a good mindset, but whatever. There's a difference in that and not wanting the next person to thrive because I'm struggling or I'm not where I want to be in life, because that is giving hater. Some people may feel incapable of reaching a certain point of their life, or that a certain lifestyle is unrealistic for them, and we will pray for them. But you know who you are and who you want to become, or you're learning. So you can't let them and their limited beliefs hold you back. Think about a celebrity or influencer, someone you may look up to. They didn't get where they are being timid, listening to other people and their limited beliefs, not being comfortable in who they are and standing on what they want to do with their life. If they listen to the opinions of other people, guarantee they would not be where they are today. Once you sit down and realize, okay, I'm not surrounded by people that are making me feel good, people that are helping me reach my goals, it's time to start cutting people off respectfully and start finding those people that make you feel good. When you surround yourself with like-minded people, it changes your life, okay? Once I found those people, it just gave me a warm feeling to know, like, you understand me, you see where I'm trying to go, and you can help me get there. When you are surrounded with people that are on a similar path, a similar alignment, you can hold each other accountable to reach those goals. You can help keep each other motivated when it gets the hardest. It's just very healthy to surround yourself with like-minded people. And I'm not saying like-minded in the sense that you agree on everything, all of your beliefs are 100% the same. No, I mean like-minded to where you both have goals, you both walk on a similar moral high ground, you both see a certain life for yourself. Just be intentional on who you choose to surround yourself with, because in some way, shape, or form, they are going to affect you in your life. Okay, now we are shifting gears a little bit. I feel like I've gotten off topic, but like it still kind of follows the topic. Like, hopefully you picking up what I'm putting down. But we are born listening to other people, our parents, teachers, coaches, our peers. We are just constantly surrounded by people that have influence on our life and to some extent the decisions that we make. But it's like, when do I get to listen to myself? We are taught how to have relationships with other people, but not how to have one with ourselves. Especially nowadays, because we as a society just don't like or don't promote individuality anymore. It's like we want everyone to be the same and live the same lifestyle, and there's kind of a expectation set on how life is supposed to go, and if you deviate from that in any way, it's the end of the world, which I don't agree with. Society just loves to have opinions and tell people how their life is supposed to go. Oh, you're in your 20s, you're supposed to have an apartment, you're supposed to have a car, you're supposed to have a good paying job. Oh, you're in your 30s, you should be married by now, you should have kids. Oh, you're in your 50s or 60s, you should be retired by now. But it's like, first of all, there's no blueprint to life. Everyone's path is different, and people reach certain milestones when it's their time, not when society says they should. I want to encourage all the young women, especially as we live through this digital world. Everything is social media, okay? Find your identity first before your image. Let me break that down. Your identity is who you are as a person, your self-concept, your personality, your morals, your values, and your image is just how people perceive you, basically, or your reputation. You get caught up, especially by the pressure of society, to seek these materialistic things, show off a certain lifestyle without truly knowing who you are as a person. You are going to, well, first, I know I said I wasn't going to bring religion into it too much, but I got the whole identity image thing from my pastor, okay? So he said you are going to allow the devil to trick you into believing those things are what make you. Personally, money does not move me, respectfully. Like, when dudes approach me like, oh, I got this, I'm like, okay, but tell me about your character. Tell me about, what do you stand for? Yes, all the materialistic things are a plus, but it's like, that doesn't really tell me about you as a person. So, ladies, make sure to find your identity before your image. You need to know who you are before you know who you want people to perceive you as. All right, bringing this all back to the topic, you may be like, okay, Malaya, I hear you, but I don't hear you, because if you are used to not trusting yourself, not trusting your own judgment, allowing other people to control your life, you are like, girl, you telling me what to do, but not how to do it. All I'm going to say is you need to spend some time alone. You cannot get to know the person inside this body until you sit with yourself and start asking questions. What are my hobbies? What are my interests? What's something new I want to try? What are my pet peeves? What are some boundaries I need to create with people? Who do I want to become? Then you can start asking harder questions like, what's holding me back from being that person? What's something I can change in my life today that will affect my future? Once you start being able to answer those questions, you will become so much more confident. Like, for real. Might tell you a joke, but I won't tell you a lie. And you cannot do this in the presence of other people. You cannot get vulnerable with yourself and truly get to know yourself with other people's noise and distractions and those external factors in our life. I'm a huge advocate for spending some time alone. I think you should go on a solo date every month, but we're going to save that for another episode because I know I'm rambling. This last segment is for the God-fearing women. It's okay not to know who you are or who you want to become right now, but the more you talk to God and pray and ask Him for guidance, it will become clear to you. Like I said in the beginning, I was depressed, y'all. Like, I was in a really bad place at one point, and I just started to pray, and I'm not gonna lie, at first I didn't feel like it was working. I was a doubtful believer. Like, I believed in God, but like I wasn't really too sure. I had my doubts on certain things. You have to fully submit to the Lord and trust Him. He doesn't make any mistakes. Everything happens for a reason, the good and the bad. You just have to find the lesson in every situation. The best part about going to talk to the Lord is that He doesn't judge you about any of your circumstances. He already is aware of it. He already knows what you're going through. And when you come to Him, He's ready to take you with open arms. Y'all be so quick to go ask your friend for advice. Go ask God, okay? Because sometimes He's already put it in your face and you just ignore the signs. I just would go to Him and keep asking Him, God, what is my purpose? What did you put me here to do? And He said, Malaya, you are here to use your voice. I like to talk. I like to hear myself talk. So it's like, talk about something meaningful. Use your voice to make a difference. The message I want you to leave with today is stop letting people tell you what you can and can't do or what you should or shouldn't do. Stop letting people have power over your life. People aren't changing at your pace at the same time as you. And if they can't respect that you aren't the same person that they used to know, it's time to remove them from your life. If they don't respect you, don't give them access to you. Conform to society or other people's opinions or beliefs. Find your identity before your image. Sit with yourself. Spend some time alone to learn, who is this person? Who am I trying to become? I encourage you to just get closer to God, talk to God until you figure out what your path looks like. And as I'm going to keep saying until you get sick of hearing it, it's your world. It's your world, not theirs. And before there's any misconceptions on the quote, it's your world does not mean we walking around like the world revolves around us and no one else matters. It's your world means I am living for me. I am putting myself first and doing what makes me happy and what is best for me overall. So that is all I have for today. If you made it all the way to the end, I love you. And yeah, I'm just excited to start this journey. This is something completely out of my comfort zone, but I'm taking the steps to become that highest version of myself. And I hope that something I said resonated with you in your life and you can make sense of it how you need to. Before I go, I forgot to do this in the beginning. At the start of each episode, I would like to share one good and bad thing from my day, because I think it's important that we talk about the good things and the bad things that happen. We can't just go through life and not reflect on our day. And obviously the goal is to not have any bad things, but we know shit happens, okay? Like, and it's just better to reflect and talk about it than just keep it inside. So I told y'all I'm keeping it real. I'm filming this little outro on Sunday. So now it's a few hours before the episode is supposed to drop. But one good thing for my day is that I went to church this morning. I usually watch it online, but I've been trying to get into going in person, and today was my first time going alone in person. And I just loved it so much. Like, I was able to be vulnerable, and it just felt like it was just me and the Lord in the room. And the word was amazing. But anyway, one bad thing from my day. Well, I was up late last night, and then I had got up for church this morning. I've just had a long day, and then I still had to come back and like record and edit. So I just was upset that I didn't do this ahead of time because I missed the Super Bowl parties. Not that I care about the football, but I care about the food and the drinks, okay? But if I would have been proactive with my time, I knew I wanted to re-record it, so I should have been did this. So it's my fault. But I'm happy that I did. I am confident that someone will enjoy this episode as much as I do. You obviously won't be able to tell me, but just think about it. What was one good and one bad thing that happened in your day today? Lastly, I want to end each episode by saying a few affirmations together because we need to affirm and say the things that we want in our life out loud because we have, hold on, I just looked it up. We have 45 to 50 thoughts per minute and about 50,000 to 70,000 per day. That's a lot. So just thinking something is not enough. You need to affirm it, declare it, and say it out loud. So I have an affirmation poster in my bathroom, and I literally just close my eyes and glide my finger across it, and whatever one it lands on, that will be our affirmations for the night. So give me 1 second. I am on the right track. I have amazing qualities to offer. You better have said those affirmations, girl. But that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening to Your World. I'm your host, Malaya. And always remember, it's your world. Go out and get what belongs to you. Make sure to follow us at Your World Podcast on all platforms to stay connected and never miss an episode. And yeah, I will talk to you next week. Bye.